Over 30 years of experience. Look, I'm looking down like this. You can tell I've done this before. Okay, over 30 years of experience, they say. Well, it's actually a little more than that. Probably before I was on radio. I started working in the business when I was just a youngster. So who knows how many years? It's only for me to know, not for you. But I am here to answer your questions. We're here at AskTom Live. I do the radio show, HomeShowRadio, which you can visit at HomeShowRadio.com every Saturday from 9 to noon. And, of course, on Sundays from 8 to 11 on Sports Radio 610 if you're in the Houston market. If you're not, go to HomeShowRadio.com and you can visit us there and you can listen to this show anytime you want, actually, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as well as a lot of other things we'll tell you about during this broadcast. And Danny Milliken, he is on before me on Saturday, our garden expert. When it comes to growing, he knows his stuff. And he will be on today with us also. But first, on Saturday, there he is. Hi, Danny. But I got to tell him when you're on the radio. He's on every Saturday from 7 to 9, and then I come on 9 to 12. There you go. Got that all the way. There's Charlie there, too. I assume because I can see you, they can see you.
Yes, whatever you can see, they can see. That's exactly right. So Danny, right. we're gonna set you aside for just a second, Danny, so we can get kind of do our housekeeping. But we're going to come back to you. It's the last Thursday of the month, and so Danny's here with us, as always, to answer questions. And then we have another special guest, and we'll get to that here in just a minute. It is jam-packed and the world premiere, Tom, of one of our new home show videos, brand new and out, and something that will really charge you up here. And
is that what I was doing yesterday? That. Okay.
Yes. Don't.
Is that what I was doing yesterday? Okay. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we'll
tell you anything else. I don't tell you more about.
Okay, but that's the deal. And so you want to get on. You want to get on and ask your questions here. It's as easy. If you're already watching, you're halfway there. Just go ahead and put comments in the question section because Tom's here to answer your questions and help you out. And that's what we do every Thursday here on our Facebook Live show. And the other thing we do is we also talk about, Tom, what's in the news? That's right.
Yes.
Around the corner and up your block, it's home improvement news here on the Home Show. And the big news this week is that Tom is going to be going out. Let me just get this thing right here. And going out to Conroe this weekend to be part of the, let me make sure I get this title right here, Tony. It's the Fall Montgomery
County. You don't have it, I have it right over here. Okay.
I got it right here in my, I've got directly from Tony. See, Tony, you put it in there and it came out here. And so there it is. So that's Tony.
Good, because I don't think I have it. I'll get one Saturday when I go Okay,
fair.
Go ahead, Charlie.
So anyway, Tony is the producer of the Montgomery County Home and Garden Show and all that. And Tony, you have every time we come up there, it's amazing how many things that you put together and all the stuff that is under one roof. And I'll tell you the cool thing is that we are actually getting out to a home show again. It's great to get out and actually see people and all that. So you usually have some kind of big headliner. Who's the big star of this show?
Besides Tom, you mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, the real star. Come on, I'm a Class D. You got a Class B at least, don't you? Come on, Tony.
You know, we have, I would say, two folks that are probably interesting, very interesting. One would be Ashley Barber. You're probably familiar with Marie Kondo. She has a new series coming out next Monday. Netflix. She entered the American lexicon with Charlie. What was that again? You know what I'm talking about?
Throw it out if it doesn't bring you joy.
Does it give you joy? Does it give you yes? Yeah. Yes,
now,
that's correct.
And I would just want to be really clear because I can tell from the account that Sandy, my wife's probably watching now. When she says if it gives you joy, it's if it gives me joy, not if it gives your partner joy, right?
We're
That's
men.
Right.
It's about us. I'm sorry.
I'm not going there, but okay.
Okay. Well, my wife's, I don't know. Hopefully she didn't hear that. You on? Anyway, Ashley is trained as a certified KonMari professional organizer, trained under Marie Kondo. Ashley will be here both days. She'll talk about how to declutter your closet. Very, very apropos that Marie Kondo's new thing's coming out Monday.
Yeah.
We're also bringing in Angela Maxwell. She, believe this is crazy, unbelievable story. Walked around the world for 6.5 years. 14 continents, or not even 14 countries, 4 continents, and so on. She's got an incredible story, very inspirational. Other than that, we've got our regulars like Danny and Tom, of course, and we've got some new products that some people, one company has new glow path pavers, glow in the dark pavers. I've seen them; they look pretty cool.
Are these a solar thing?
No, they're well, I don't know. It's not. It's chips that are embedded in the paper.
You're kind of your sound's kind of going in and out a little bit, Tony.
Okay. It's chips that are embedded in the pavers. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
And they glow at nighttime. So I don't think there's a solar element to it. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Anyway, that's kind of cool. I've got a company that has a brand new modular outdoor kitchen system, which they're right out of here at Conroe and stuff like that. So premium quality windows, you name it, all that kind of stuff.
Cool, super.
This weekend.
And it's all this weekend, so it's like kitchens and baths and the outdoor, obviously, because you're doing landscaping and stuff like that as well. And
right.
we actually had I think it was one of the better attended shows last year, and I think it's partly because it's up there in Montgomery County, and folks far and wide come up and see it, and there's not a show there every week. So
correct. There's a ton of people moving up here, man, an absolute ton of people. Even people in the woodlands now. That's the city. Mm-hmm. Now they're moving out to the country.
Well, my wife and I happen to own some dirt in New Waverly, so there it is. So but we're not in any hurry. Okay. All right. So anyway, but if you want to learn more about Tony, you go to his website here at Texwood Shows, and it has all the details on it for going to that thing. I don't know what happened to my camera there, but whatever. It's
free parking, and anyway, Tom will be here on Saturday. You guys will talk about that, and of course, Danny as well.
Yeah. Tom's going to be broadcasting.
Tom's
going to broadcast his entire show Saturday, the entire thing. So that means that for 3 hours in a row, Tom will be wearing pants. So you'll want to come out.
Right. Well, that's good to know.
And we're actually going to have the Boral steel coated roofing guys are going to be at that show, and they're going to come over and visit with me and Tom for a little bit on Saturday too. So that'll be great. I want to see this one that walked around the world. That's kind of a cool thing.
I don't know anybody who's done that. So, and I've talked to him on the phone. Very pleasant.
Well, I will tell you, there's a comedian named Stephen Wright who says that everything's within walking distance if you have enough time. So what I want to find out is how long it took, so we know what that time you'll need for this. All right, Tony, thank you so much for joining us. We love having you. It was great seeing you, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there in Montgomery County. So there you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call in the news. And we will. I probably should play the little theme sing. Here we go. There you go. And you want a real breaking news story? We won't be here next Thursday. We're going to be taking a week off next week, and there'll be a best of, an encore, or something like that. But worry not your sweetheart, because today, almost to make up for that, we have with us the garden guru, the Dalai Lama of daffodils, the prince of potting soil, the master of mulch. Come on, Danny. Don't make me.
It's not me. Okay, I'm not. Hey, I'm still not past someone being lost walking around for 6 years. Okay? That's why we have the phones with a GPS. The 7-Eleven's right at the corner. Stop walking. Ask someone for directions.
I'm trying to figure out why Danny's muted. It's at his direction. It's his end. All right.
Oh, yes. I was muted, but so you guys missed my clever title puns. So.
Well, and look at the time.
Thanks for coming over, Danny.
All right.
Tom, you're talking about your over 30 years of experience. Well, I like to boast under 30 years of experience. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, David says that you are the Sultan of soil as well.
That's great.
So
that's great.
So
okay,
that's a good one, David. Appreciate that.
Soil.
Yeah, it is.
Appreciate it. All right. So So let's get to the reason we have Danny is we get questions about gardening stuff, and we have some, and we're gonna go to them and have you answer those. But if you have questions for Danny, remember all you gotta do is put them in the comment section, just like David did with his soil thing. And David, we have your question about air conditioning. We're gonna get to that, and Jesus, we see yours as well, and we'll get to your question as well in just a minute. But let's go ahead and get Danny's first question that we have for you here, and it actually has a picture. Danny, look at this. Oscar wants to know, how do I get rid of torpedo grass in my lawn? Now, is that what that is? Is that called torpedo grass?
I've generally called that crabgrass, and
Yeah, okay.
I would hate if Oscar considered this his lawn.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Agrolon crabgrass killer.
It looks like
It's
my
a really
son's
great
lawn.
product.
Yeah. We're having a little problem with Danny's connection here today, I think.
Will is here to help. Is my connection bad?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, Danny. We lost you, but okay, go ahead. We got you back.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Well, so the first thing that Oscar needs to do is build that soil back up a lot. That is what we like to call bare dirt. And anytime you've got that, you're going to have compaction, and you're not going to grow anything but weeds at all. So we never want to see uncovered soil in Houston. This is not the climate for it. So get some compost. If you're looking that sparse, I'd do inch coverage on everywhere where it's that bad. And with that crabgrass, you may not want to kill that stuff because that's the only thing you've got right now. And wait till you get some more growth, and that's where Agrolon crabgrass killer comes in and can kill it. So torpedo grass is more like a nutsedge type plant that you get in real moist areas. Okay. It's kind of like a choo-choo train looking thing that builds on itself. So I generally call that one crabgrass. I don't know, goosegrass. It's tough to tell because it's been weed whacked so many times.
All right, but you're saying the bottom line with what you, as opposed to what he asked about, what you saw in the picture is he needs to build that soil up and take it from there.
Absolutely, and Nature's Way Resources compost is the easiest and fastest way to do it. There's no super easy way to do it where you can just drop a pill out there. Microlife makes great fertilizers for that. It's kind of like you throw everything at it, but I would start with top-notch Nature's Way Resources compost, and about an inch thick.
All right.
Pretty thick.
Here's the next one. Comes from Will in Prairie View. He says, "Can you all help with my lawn another lawn question for you here? Can you help when they built up to my house? When they built up, they must have used heavy clay, because anyway I have access to a stable with manure, and I can overload and get a load of sand. Can I spread that over my lawn and give the root so it can a place to take root? What say you, Danny?"
Well, I mean, I'd love to hear Tom's thoughts on the kind of soil that gets used when we're building a new house.
The soil that gets used when you're building a new house, if it's done in most situations in the Houston area, is structural fill. It's really red in color. It's real gooey. I couldn't tell you how it grows things. We've never had a big problem with it, but it is very dense and hard to work with. So I think, Danny, you talk about loosening up the soils with compost and stuff all the time. I think that's exactly what you would be dealing with that. If you think about this, when you put a foundation in, and if you have to bring in structural fill, you have to bring it in 5 feet around the perimeter beyond where the house edge is going to be. That way you don't have it sloughing off as you're building on it. So if that's the case, and if that's what they did, that's the most common thing. The other thing is if you just take what's there, Danny, and just put it back after we've dug it out, we have no what else to do with the soil because we're digging all that foundation out. So we kind of lay it out there and just hope we do a good job, which we usually don't. And that's why we have landscapers like yourself, or experts like yourself, and landscapers like Mike Ball Irrigation, Landscaping and Lighting. I'll throw that in to help take care of it after the fact, because builders are not gardeners. That's why you have your show and I have mine.
Well, and the one thing that we can trust is going to be in that soil left over after that kind of pull out, reapply process is weed seeds. And so it's the one thing we can guarantee will be in our soil right when we move into a new build. And so Tom's absolutely right. Compaction is a huge issue. And when we think of an unhealthy lawn with a new soil, we need carbon. Fastest way to get carbon is Humates Plus. It's a microlife product that is chock full of nutrients, microbial life that actually kind of stir the soil up, and tons of humic acid, which is a great carbon source. And that is what I would be using in this situation. If you got grass, if you actually have a lawn, not like Oscar's picture, but like the rest of us, where we do have plants growing out there, humic acid is great to get down beneath the roots, so down at the bottom of the root section. That's where it goes immediately, and it'll deepen your roots, and that'll help you with dry spots, wet spots, and faster growing grass. So that's your best bet. I mean, grass is, you think about it, and all of us have it in the lawn. We have machines to deal with it. You don't have a tomato machine. It's where we're putting most of our irrigation, most of our money, most of our fertilizer. And if you can just get it healthy, you'll have a lot less stress on that lawn. And that's where just focusing on the roots is really going to help you.
Hey, Austin just wrote in. He says, I have a CinderBlock wall on one side of my backyard. He says, what's the best way to cover it up with greenery? He's in Southern California watching us, by the way.
Okay. Fig ivy is a great plant. It's used pretty commonly in Southern California as well as here. Not a water-loving plant, but it will stick with little grippers to the wall and climb up it. It's one of those things that here, if left alone, it makes about a 3-foot shrub growing off the side of the wall. But there in SoCal, it won't be quite as aggressive, but you still need to prune it back every other year or something like that.
All right, fair enough. Here's our next question for you. It comes from Ricky in Southwest. He says, I just purchased a new home. Oh, no, hang on. That's not for you. That's for you, Tom.
Well, you know what? I'm back to the greenery on the concrete block. Right. Now, if I was going to answer, I said, you want it green? Try paint. And you can paint it green.
That's it. All right.
Okay, next question.
Here's Danny's next question. No, hang on. That's still Tom. Hold on. What's going on here? I have lost total control of this thing. All right, here we go.
Oh.
Can you tell I'm going on vacation in
Sago.
48 hours?
Yes.
No, you're doing great.
Loretta says, my Sago took damage in February. Joined the club. I trimmed it back. It made a false start toward regrowth, but then went dormant. Now it's sprouting. So, Danny, Loretta wants to know, what can she do to make sure that this sprout becomes something more sustained?
Okay, so that's a great question, and Loretta, you're dealing with what a lot of people are dealing with, and that is this kind of fitful damage to the actual kind of material that the plant's made of. The cells itself were damaged, and so the cool thing about the palms is the growing part is in the very middle. And so if you're seeing new growth at the top, you kind of trust that is going to be safe and going to continue. But the best thing you can do for those palms is put down minerals. And we love a thing called Remineralizer from Nature's Way Resources. It's a really cool product. Kind of sprinkle around a ring around your sago, make a ring around sago. Wear hefty clothes because those things are pointy. And just put it down there. That's the trick, is getting minerals back in the space, letting the plant do what it's doing. When it did those kind of false restarts, it grew, and then it kind of faded a little because it did not have those minerals. And so that's something with all of our plants. You're seeing your citrus perk up or something like that perk up. We've got to get minerals down there, or we're going to lose those plants. Kind of, again, is what it feels like. So, Remineralizer. Another great one is carbon, kicking off roots, and that's where things like humic acid come in, liquid fertilizers. Rev is a really great product for that, but you really want to pair that up with putting down some of those minerals that are just going to last, and the plant will feed itself.
Cool.
Danny, I had a sago palm. I knew two of them were dead, and they had big, tall trunks, and I cut them off with my chainsaw. And I left them in the garden for about a month because I didn't get to them to cut them up in pieces and haul them away. And the dang thing sprouted 2 months later right out of the middle of a stump that I cut off. You know what? I don't like sago palms. I don't trust them now.
Yeah, anything from that other era.
No comment.
Era.
Okay.
No,
that's right.
I must have frozen again. But they're dinosaur. It's dinosaur food. Am I here?
No, you're good.
I hear you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's no comment. They're from a bygone era. They're not our current modern era. All those cycads.
I don't like them.
Are prehistoric. Yeah, I don't think they're trustworthy. I don't think they're to be trusted.
I'm not planting anymore. I planted other kind of palms, like the pinwheel. Nice, feminine type palms. Beautiful.
Plants with integrity. I understand.
Exactly. Yeah. The sagos aren't even palms. It's like a lie. They're lying to you. Don't do it. Don't buy into it. They're sagos. They're tropical. They're not coastal.
Okay.
They'll kill your dog if they eat the nut.
All right.
That's true too.
So
I know
Danny,
they will.
are you at home or are you out at the Houston Botanical Gardens today?
I'm at home.
That's his.
Came
That's
home.
his cabinet behind his head. Don't you recognize his
Yeah,
cabinet?
I got
Of
my
course.
private
Yeah.
things up there.
I was looking for the crooked door, but did you
That's right.
That's over there.
did you ought to tell everybody what you're doing now? You're running
Yeah.
all the educational programs there at Houston Botanical Garden. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So the Houston Botanical Garden is a incredibly beautiful space. It's sort of close to Hobby Airport. It's right off 45 on Park Place, and it is just gorgeous. Those of you who don't know exactly what a botanic garden is, it's more like a zoo or a museum than a gardens. It's there for you to learn, and so it's like a zoo for plants. And we do a lot of education, arts, kind of all the horticulture stuff, soil education, almost anything you can think of that has to do anything with plants at all. We're trying to jump in and do education on those fronts. We want to do a lot of eating experiences, how to cook and how to eat the plants. So that's something that we're super into, is the broad-based education. But it is flat out a breathtakingly gorgeous place. Every day I walk around and I'm like, man, this is so pretty. So hbg.org.
hbg.org is where you can find that. If there was somebody worth their salt, that would be a link for that at HomeShowGardenPros.com. I'm just saying. I know they're listening.
No,
so
I know
I'm
he's
sure
not
it's gonna-
saying it to me.
I know it's going to be on by the time we get off, because I know they're on the other side of this wall listening. So anyway,
Price
but
of salt's going up pretty fast.
yeah. And by the way, David says he likes your vintage Coke machine. You got a vintage Coke machine?
Yeah, I saw
back
that
there?
myself.
Look at that! Wow.
Oh.
I used to give my kids soda for free, but I like your business model. I think that's a good program you got going there, Danny.
Yeah. Oh, we're raking it in with that thing.
I'll bet you are. All right. One of them is going to get a soda stream and put you out of business. So
Wait, that's a good point. Yeah.
it's all right.
Now, we do topo in there, and it holds the bottles, and so I can have adult sodas in there as well. So
Yeah,
it's very nice.
careful telling people you have a supply of topo. That's something they'll break into your house for these days. So,
That's so true.
all right.
That's so. I mean, no, it's not topo. It's HEB brand.
Yeah, that's it. HEB topo. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, you want to catch Danny? You can catch him every Saturday at 7 to 9 a.m. at Home Show over there on Sports Radio 610, or right here over most of this same internet, because of course we stream the show at HomeShowGardenPros.com, and I'll let you know a little secret. We put it up on the Home Show Radio stream while he's on as well, so you can catch him there. But you can also catch Danny he's going to join us for Fun and Games up in Conroe at the Montgomery County Home and Outdoor Living Show.
That's right. I'll be
It's a
talking
Lone
about-
Star at the Lone Star Convention Center.
With free parking
that's
for
right.
everyone. Okay.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah.
so and Danny, real quick, because we're running real long here. Can you give me just a quick few lines on what it is you're going to be talking about? Some people maybe plan to come see you.
Yeah, I really hope you do come out. We're going to be talking about beautiful plants that are edible. So these are just some of my favorite plants. They're just gorgeous, but also make food, mostly fruit, and then also mostly berries. So kind of a fun thing.
That sounds like a great time. And of course, Tom will be there to answer questions too after he gets off the air until I think 3 o'clock or something. So anyway, it's going to be a great time. It's in Conroe at the Montgomery County something. What is it? The Lone Star Convention.
Lone Star Convention Center.
Montgomery County is the county we'll be in.
Hang on, so I just want to check something,
Yes.
make sure my
Conroe is
make
the
sure
city,
my-
Montgomery's the county, and it's the Lone Star Convention Center where we're going to be in the building.
I just want to make sure that my
See, Charlie, Danny and
my
I
flight-
have to go
my
to these
flight-
things. You just pretend you do.
I'm making sure my flight's leaving on time Sunday. So okay, all right. Danny, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again the end of September, which I guess by the end of September the questions are going to shift. We'll get into all the full gardening and all that stuff by then, won't we?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, lawns are important, so I love lawn questions. Don't think I don't like those.
Oh no, I hear you. But it's time. Is it too late to put? Last question for you: is it too late to put tomatoes in the ground?
No, this is not too late. This is probably exactly the right moment. The next couple weeks we start getting a little bit too late then, unless you can buy bigger plants. Which, if you can find bigger plants now, it's kind of like buying thyme, which normally you don't see thyme on the shelf. But with plants you do sometimes. So.
I thought isn't thyme on the spice aisle? You can buy thyme there, can't you?
No, it's in a bottle.
Thyme.
Oh, thyme in a bottle. That's
thyme.
right. Oh, thyme. It's thyme. Okay. All right.
Talking about thyme.
All right. Hey, Danny, thanks for being with us. Really appreciate you carving the time out.
Yeah, you
and
bet.
we'll see you in Conroe on Saturday.
Yeah, hope to see y'all there.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Danny. See ya. Yeah, okay.
Doing his very best Isaac the bartender impersonation there. All right, Tom.
That's right.
We have our work cut out for us because we have a bunch of
Go.
questions. We
Go.
got so
Lightning round. Go.
Yeah, lightning round. Okay, first one. Jesus has written into us. He says, "Is it okay to hang a garden hose reel on hardy plank siding?"
It's much better because hoses get heavy. If you can get behind the siding into some kind of wood, whether it's a stud, whether you have some wood sheathing, that kind of thing. Hardy is a great product, but it doesn't hold screws well. You put a flag on there or something, it's going to a little wind on there, a little tension, it's going to pull it out. The screws just won't hold. So usually behind your Hardy, there's something else. So try to get the screws through it into some of the wood members or the sheathing or whatever you might have behind there. It's not going to hold real well onto Hardy. Especially a hose can get real heavy if you have water in it too, and they're going to drop depending on the type of hose you have.
All right. David says, my AC will run great for about 20 minutes. Then the blower in the attic slows down and stalls. The compressor outside still runs until I catch it and shut it off. Could it be the blower motor is getting clogged with grime or a relay problem or something else? It's 15 years old. It's a carrier unit, Tom, if that means anything.
Yeah, what I would like you to do is have it checked right now. I just had my air conditioning all gone through because I had low Freon. I had it was freezing up a little bit. What happens when your charge goes down a little bit, it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be a half a pound. Your coil starts to freeze over. Then the air can't flow through, and the fan is trying, but it's being choked, so it's gonna die down. If you turn it off and let the ice melt for a little bit and turn it back on, then it'll come back to full for a little while. Then it'll start to freeze again. It's time for you to have someone come out and do a end of summer, kind of almost end of summer. We're not there yet. Check up on there and check your refrigerant level, and also clean your condensing coil too. And give it. I needed a capacitor on mine also, so I needed a couple of little things, and now it's running super nice. And it's time for you to do the same thing. But I have a feeling you're low on refrigerant.
All right. Zach Tyler Lifesti writes to us. He says, my mom is selling her house, and the home inspector told her it's missing purlins. The house is only 3 years old. He wants to know, is it normal for a builder to just forget to put purlins in? And if she needs to have them installed, who would she call for that, Tom?
First off, you don't have to do anything, and I want to make this clear to everybody. Sell the house as is. Whether there's purlins there or not, if the house has been there for 20 years, 15 years, 40 years, it's fine. If the new owner wants to put purlins in, it's not much. You just have, all a purlin is a couple of 2x4s up in the attic as a brace. For him to say at the time that they were not enough purlins as opposed to what they're requiring today is a little out of line for some of these guys. So it's not up ever to the homeowner to fix these things. The inspection report is for the buyer to know what they're buying. Some buyers want a perfect home, so don't even try to sell them yours, and you can't make it perfect for them. So don't do anything. If you wanted to say, listen, you put the purlins in, I'll take $250 off the price of the house, let's make the deal happen, that's fine too, but it's not a big deal. If you're going to have someone put some supports in there, you better have that inspector to come and say exactly where he wants them, because the next inspector that comes in might say, oh, well, they're in the wrong spot. So you're going to end up with that kind of game going on for a while if there's even a need for it. And Rudy could do that, but he's not going to make it up and make the inspector happy if he's looking for a couple of purlins. That's a ridiculous statement on a house sale. Unless the roof is starting to fail and the structure is starting to bow, then it would be a different explanation. It wouldn't be, hey, you're missing a couple of purlins.
It's not our responsibility to make you happy. You find happy inside.
No, but they know, hey, we might, you know what, the people would buy it and say, yeah, we'll do that. And then they're never going to do it. And then they'll go sell the house and somebody else will get something else.
Right, exactly.
So that's,
they're just trying
you gotta watch out with
it's a
these
negotiating
inspection
ploy.
reports.
You know how that works. Exactly.
As is, and if it makes them happy, say, hey, I'll take $150 off a 60, 70, 150, and $250,000 sale. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
What's it mean to anybody?
It's called I think they call that a rounding error. All right, here's a question
There you
from
go.
Ricky in Southwest Houston. He says, I just purchased a new mobile home. I want to paint the interior walls. Can they be painted, Tom? I imagine they could.
Anything can be painted. Look at the stuff out in the street that's been painted. Look at the car parts under your hood
That's true.
that handle 5,000 degree temperatures. They're painting. Some of it's powder coated, some of it's heat resistant paint. Look at barbecue pits. So the answer is yes. Mobile homes usually have this vinyl type paneling that have these little furring strips on there. If that's the case, then you would use a paint that just a regular interior latex house paint will paint it fine. It's not going to be an issue. So go ahead and paint it. That's probably what it is. If it's a wood paneling, it might be a little bit different, but I doubt it's going to be a wood paneling. I still think it's going to have the vinyl on there. So just a latex interior house paint's the way to go. And of course, if it's sheetrock, same thing.
All right. Listen, we're plumb run out of time here because we like.
I know I went fast. Did you notice I was talking fast?
I did.
there?
I know it was awesome. It was great. Believe me, we were all here like.
No, it's Danny Day. I understand.
Go. And now that we got ahead, now we're behind again. If you want to get your questions on this, or you'd like to have us answer them in our weekly or daily AskTom videos, we post a new one every day at HomeShowRadio.com. Go to our website there, click on that blue Ask Tom button, fill it out, send it in, and we'll answer it just like this. We normally get a lot more questions in. By the way, when you get there, you can do a video or you can send us a written question with pictures. And if you watch the videos, you'll see we get a lot of pictures and they help. And Tom loves to answer, and that's why we do it. And by the way, we've mentioned a couple of our Home Show Pros today. If you're looking for those, I almost forgot to mention this. We find those at our website too. Scroll down, you'll see them right down here. Their names, their logos are right there on the homepage. Click on there and contact. If you don't know who, but you know what, we have it organized by category for you there as well. It's all there at HomeShowRadio.com. And of course, Tom will be on the radio this Saturday, wearing pants live in Conroe.
And the new white shirt.
Oh, cool.
I picked it up yesterday, so I got a nice shirt that fits me. Yes.
Cool. You want to tell them what time you're on there?
You want me to continue? All right. On Saturday, 9 to 12, I'll be at the Lone Star Convention Center, which many of you heard about over the last 15, 20 minutes. And on Sunday, it'll be Charlie and I from 8 to 8:30 in the morning here on Sports Radio 610 or HomeShowRadio.com. And I'll continue the show on until 11 o'clock on Sunday.
And of
Danny's
course, Danny,
on from 7 to 9 on Saturday.
Can't forget Danny. Okay. And
Of course not.
before we go, I've got one last thing for you. It is the world premiere, and I'm going to squeeze this in because I think it's worth seeing, of our latest home show video here. I can find the button for it. There it is. And we think you're going to get a charge out of it.
The electrical system will work for a long time in a bad and unsafe state.
If your home is older than 20 years old, your electrical system may no longer be safe. Right Touch Electrical showed us 4 devices that can make your home safer.
These are arc fault GFI plugs, or in other words called dual function. What these do are protect against water and fire.
Here's the dual function next to the old GFI type. Anywhere there's water, you need the new version. Outside, you'll need even more protection.
Everyone's probably seen a plug like this outside. Back a long time ago that was okay, but now we have to install this type of plug. Now you still need the GFI protection, but you also need a WR stamped on your devices. That means weather resistant.
Side by side, you can see the weather resistant plug is made of material resistant to corrosion.
Where corrosion takes place and arcing will take place, and either there'll be a power outage or worse, potentially a fire.
The last line of defense, the breaker box.
So this is an old style breaker. This protects against overload and short circuits.
Old breakers can fail. This is what happens when they do. New breakers have arc fault protection.
They protect against water, they protect against fire. They also have a test button that will allow you to know that it's working properly.
Not everyone loves the newer safety technology.
People may complain that they are very sensitive and they do shut down sometimes, but all we say is it's doing its job.
Remember those plastic plugs that covered the outlets to keep your kids safe? Now,
we only install tamper-resistant devices. These have been designed to replace those so that kids cannot stick anything unwanted inside an electrical plug.
Right Touch calls all these new devices life safety.
You really need to make sure that these life safety devices are put in place, that they're working properly, that they're tested, that way that your family and your home's safe.
I trust Right Touch Electrical to keep my electrical system safe. That's why they're one of my trusted HomeShow Pros. For HomeShowRadio.com, I'm Tom Tynan.
He sure is. Well, that's cool. Yeah, and he's just one of our home show pros. Good job, Tom. And I'm here to tell you, my kids would take those child resistant plugs as a challenge.
Yeah, I did when I was a kid. I made one of those super strong magnets, took a wire, wrapped it around. You used to use a battery to make a magnet. I thought if I plugged it in the wall, it would be better, and I blew the whole neighborhood out. So, but that was back in the 60s.
Yeah. I learned. I was
peace, love.
I was a young boy when I figured out why you turn the breaker off before you mess with those things too. Gives you all right. Hey, that's it. We'll see you guys next Thursday. No, we will not. We will see you in 2 Thursdays. I'll be off next week, and so since Tom doesn't want to come and figure out how to push these buttons, we're not going to do the show. But we will have one of our best ones running next week, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with another AskTom. Thanks for being with us.
Got a question? Ask Tom on Home Show Radio. Home Show Radio. Free advice from a pro who knows. Home Show Radio. Home Show